It's the endless sounds of shelling of missiles for civilians in Ukraine on day 12 as well. Overnight, there have been multiple reports that we've been picking up from our reporters of, again, the focus for Russia being on two cities, Kyiv and Kharkiv. Ukraine claims that Russia has now intensified shelling in cities across north, central and south of Ukraine. Russia has made advances in the south of Ukraine and along the coast. They are, however, facing relentless resistance from Ukraine. The focus for Russia is on also getting the port city of Odessa after capturing Kherson last week. Ukraine Air Defense Forces on Sunday claimed to have shot down a Russian fighter jet over Kharkiv. In the last 2 days, Ukraine has claimed to have shot down in all over 5 Russian planes. Meanwhile, with each passing day, what we're also seeing is Russian forces inching closer and closer to the city of Kyiv, to the capital. There's a video that's been put out by the Russian Defense Ministry, and this video shows its troops marching towards Kyiv in tanks and in armored vehicles. Ukraine's armed forces have also released a video in which military personnel are seen building trenches, roadblocks and also armed checkpoints on the roads to ensure that Russia cannot enter their capital, to ensure that they continue their resistance against Russia. What we're also seeing is, in fact, protests happening in Russia, in Moscow. Police have detained more than 4,300 people on Sunday at Russia, in fact, in the country of Russia, as protests have played out across the country.
Marine Corps, a crucial part of the Ukrainian forces. The gentleman over here is going to show how the women in the Marine Corps wear the bulletproof jackets. A very heavy one. Are you going to demonstrate? He wants me to wear it and see. An experience for myself. Oh my God, that is heavy. That is really heavy. So this is what the women in the Ukrainian armed forces wear. It's pretty heavy. And then okay, that's what he does. Okay, and then the helmet. Yes, that's standing with Ukraine. Standing with Ukraine. And then okay. See, it's interesting. The gentlemen over here, all right, but they're from the Marine Corps, so they're not going to show us their faces. So he's covered it because he was helping me. He's covered his face and he's come here. Okay, I'm not going to hold. Do you want me to hold a gun as well?
Yes.
I've never held. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so this is pretty difficult. Is this how it goes? My God. So this is how the women. Oh, I can't breathe. You need tremendous amount of training to be able to do this. To be able to hold a gun, to be able to wear this life jacket, this vest, this bulletproof vest, and the helmet, which is also pretty heavy, and then go into combat to fight for Ukraine against the Russians. With Kuldeep.
Thank you.
In one of the camps over here. In Kyiv, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
So what Geeta just showed you, there are many, many women in Ukraine, civilians who've never held a rifle before, now doing that to protect their country. And we've seen civilians, women stepping out, helping in any way they can. There are many of them who are stepping up now to help in medical situations, to help civilians who've been injured also in this war. Here's a report that's been filed by Maria Pysarenko from Kyiv.
I'm Maria Pysarenko reporting from Kyiv, and we are in Volunteer Fighters Help Center, and here we can see not only men coming to get some help, to bring something for their positions in their units, but also women who are fighting for Ukraine side by side with men. So, for example, here is the lady who came to procure her unit with food, with medicine and other stuff, and now we will talk with her, ask her about what she's doing here. Можемо зараз прямо дуже швидко, так? So she's, as you, як вас звати? Тетяна. Ви англійську говорите? Ні, не говорите. So this is Tatiana, and we will talk with Tatiana in the street, yeah, because She's now very busy trying to gather all the things needed. So, так, давайте тут зупинимося, зупинимося. So, ви дивитесь на мене. Тетяна, розкажіть, будь ласка, ви з якого підрозділу, чим ви займаєтеся?
Я оборони Києва. Зараз на даний момент ми займаємося обороною Києва, також охороняємо некоторі об'єкти. Хлопці наші зараз на даний момент на передовій, це в тих гарячих об'єктах, тих гарячих точках, там, де зараз почалась така конкретна, вже потужна війна.
Що це, Буча,
Це наші хлопці в Бучі, наші хлопці в Бровари, наші хлопці зараз охороняють, держать оборону в Бориспольському аеропорту, потім в Гостомелі говорила.
Так, зараз паузу. So, Tatiana says us that she is a representative of the unit which now defends Ukraine against Russians in such hotspots as Bucha, Hostomel, also Boryspil airport, which is where the deadliest battles are happening right now. And she says that her main task here is to gather medicine, to gather some stuff for the fighters who are all over Kyiv defending Kyiv. So this is Kyiv Territorial Defense Unit.
This morning, we're getting you constant updates from the two cities of Kyiv and Kharkiv. Now, as we focus on the capital, where we're getting you those images also of Russian troops slowly inching closer and closer, Gaurav Sawant and Shweta Singh spoke to the Kyiv governor. What's the plan for the fight back? How really are they mounting an offensive? More details on that.
The attack on Kyiv is imminent. This is the map of the Kyiv region, and with us on this special broadcast is Oleksiy Koleba, the governor of Kyiv. My colleague Shweta Singh and I are posing some questions to him about the threat that Kyiv faces at this point of time. Governor, the attack is coming in on this map. Can you tell us where all are the Russian forces? Where is the main attack coming from at this point of time?
Our main attack came from Zhytomyr district and Vyshgorod district.
Okay.
Are you worried for the civilians, the people who are living here?
One more. Yes, of course. We worried about everyone who have problem living here, yeah, and we have register each people, each problem, and we will find all of them, and we will help all of them.
Sir, electricity and gas, that apparently is a problem in Mariupol, in some other places. What is the situation in Kyiv? Are you fearing that electricity and gas could be a problem for the people still in Kyiv?
I will give you inclusive information as you like. 1 hour ago we have a problem with gas because we have a damage from airplane, Russian rocket, and we made decision, and nearly 100 people will have no gas at all because that's problem. We have to ask all the world to close the sky from the Russian rockets.
And there are reports that a lot of civilians have come back to Ukraine, to Kyiv. How many would you say?
More than 100,000 people crossed the border to Kyiv. It's all men that will fight for our country.
Governor, the attack, we are told, is happening at Hostomel, in Irpin, in Bucha. How much time, in your appreciation, before this part of Kyiv where we are, how safe is this, and how safe is this likely to remain?
It's very simple. Never. Never.
So the threat the threat is real. The threat to Kyiv is real. Whether it's the artillery, whether it's the rockets or the air attack. And this is where the governor says they will stay and defend Kyiv, and people are coming in for it. For talking to India Today, Governor, many thanks. With Shweta Singh and camera person Pawan Kumar in Kyiv, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
So an attack on Kyiv is imminent, but right now the city that's being bombarded is the second largest city of Ukraine, that of Kharkiv. And we've been reporting here on India Today for the last many days on the situation in the city. The reason you're seeing this kind of all-out fighting, shelling and missile attacks in Kharkiv is because Ukraine is also not giving in. What you see on your screens are residential buildings that are now up in flames. This is in Kharkiv again as a result of massive shelling. The city is facing Putin's wrath in the form of back-to-back airstrikes for the last many days. Russia's growing impatient. They want to take control of this city after Kherson. Ukrainians, however, are refusing to give up right now. A Russian fighter jet reportedly has also been shot down over Kharkiv by Ukraine forces. Heavy artillery also hit a television tower in overnight shelling by Russian troops. We'll try to get you more details of whether communications are going okay in Kharkiv or not after the shooting down of that television tower. Lakhs of Ukrainians have also fled from the city of Kharkiv. There's a haunting image that we're going to show you there on your screens on the right of how so many people have gathered there at the Kharkiv railway station, all of them trying desperately to find a way out of the city, knowing full well that right now they have no way of survival in the city with how things are playing out, particularly with residential buildings also being targeted right now.
Привет русским братикам, блядь. Пидорасы.
And let's get to an exclusive conversation that we also had with the Kharkiv governor, who's confirmed that, yes, right now things are very, very tough in Kharkiv and it's extremely disturbing.
And joining us live now is Governor Ihor Terekov. He's the governor of the city of Kharkiv. It's Ukraine's second largest city and has become defined and known as a city that's come under the most aggressive attacks from Russia. This is a city, remember, that is only 40 kilometers from the Russian border. Governor Terekov, thank you for speaking to India today. I'd like to start by asking you what the current situation is, sir, in your city, Kharkiv, right now.
Unfortunately, the situation in Kharkiv it's really tough and disturbing. Russia is currently bombing the whole city. They are bombing the residential areas as well as critical infrastructure of the whole city. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people dying every day. People are trying to get to buy some foods or goods, and at that time, unfortunately, there are still bombing and a lot of people dying. So the situation is really, really tough and disturbing.
Governor Terekov, how much of the city of Kharkiv has been damaged so far? We've been seeing video after video of the attacks on your city. How much of it is damaged right now?
During these 11 days, they're still bombing us every day, during the day and during the night. Thousands of people are trying to find another shelter. Police stations, municipal buildings, as well as residential areas are under bombing, are under attack. Kharkiv is really damaged.
And let's also get you another report from Kharkiv. Civilians, many of them trying to flee. There are several others who've decided to stay put, help everyone in need, including animals who are suffering because of this conflict, unable to get access to food. Here's that report.
Kharkiv, Ukraine. Hello, my Indian friends. Hello, India Today. Now I want to show you what happened. The volunteers find and buy something for dogs, cats, for Kharkiv animals. because there are many animals right now in the city, and we have no logistic, have no roads, have no airports. That's why these people buy and try to need to save some food for animals. One child, Maxim, 23 years old. Что он делает сейчас?
Он сейчас уехал в Полтаву, с женой прячется.
He must drive to Poltava to save his life.
Прячется с женой.
He must save his family.
Мать Краснограде.
His mother right now in Krasnograd is near the Kharkiv. She is not on the Kharkiv. This man is volunteers who right now find and transfer the food for animals. Hi, it's Tanya.
Hi.
Tanya, how are you?
It's scary a little bit, but it's a lot of food for our animals and for animals that are hungry now. We will drive tomorrow to bring it.
And those are truly amazing stories of how several Ukrainians have stepped up to help all those in need, including animals, during this conflict. Now, let's also focus on exactly what Russia's strategy is here in Ukraine. 12 days, we've seen shelling, we've seen missile attacks, but they've been focused on energy hubs as well as now on airports. Russia's pounded 8 back-to-back missiles on the Vinnytsia city of Ukraine on Sunday. They've completely destroyed the Havrashovka airport. Ukraine President Zelensky has condemned this, demanding that a no-fly zone be imposed over Ukraine by every country now. Here's our next report on that.
Not one, not two, not three, but 8 back-to-back Russian cruise missiles hit Ukraine's Vinnytsia airport. This is how Vinnytsia Havrashovka airport looks like now. In pieces, shattered, completely destroyed. At least one person was reported dead as a result of the non-stop rain of Russian missiles. A warehouse caught fire and an administrative building was also partially destroyed. What followed? A strict demand from Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. He urged the West for the second time to impose a no-fly zone over Ukraine.
Ми повторюємо кожного дня: закрийте небо над Україною, закрийте для всіх російських ракет, для російської бойової авіації, для всіх цих терористів. Зробіть гуманітарну повітряну зону без ракет, без авіабомб. Ми люди, і це ваш гуманітарний обов'язок захищати нас, захищати людей.
NATO has already turned down Zelensky's request once. A no-fly zone will bar all unauthorized aircraft from flying over the war-torn country.
We have seen it for the last 11 days, and you have seen it right now, that the destruction is happening now on the east side of Dnipro River and then on the west. However, without the no-fly zone over Ukraine, it seems like the whole Western world is just watching us being destroyed with no additional steps being taken.